Loretta came in and initially was your administrator.
Yeah, Loretta, the funny thing is Loretta is that, and I'm just going to, I actually, maybe 3-4 years ago, I was having this this time in my life where we were overwhelmed. And I needed some sort of direction, some help. And I had a team of a couple people back then, and it didn't work out. So long story short, I spoke with an agent. His name is Mike McCann. And I respect him because I gave him a call and I said, listen, and this was like 4 years ago, I think. I said, I really, respect you. You have a great reputation. You don't know me. He didn't know me. I don't think we even did a deal at this point. But the name was obviously, relevant in the real estate industry. So I said, listen, I need to ask you. I'm like, can you tell me? What can you give me advice? Can I buy you a cup of coffee? And he goes, listen, I'll sit down with you. Have you come back to my office, see what we do. He's like, have your assistant call me. I'm like, well, you're talking to your assistant, to my assistant. He's like, you have no assistant? I'm like, no. He's like, Joe, he's like, before you do anything, he's like, you can't handle this because you have no assistant. You need help. You can't write your own contract and show houses and go to settlements and do agreements of sale. You can't do it on your own. There's only one of you. You need to delegate. You need to let go of the reins. He's like, I was the same way. You need to do it.
Well, can I just say, you guys are so similar.
Okay.
I
know you interviewed him too, right?
The heart that you both have, the fact that you called him and he talked to you like that.
Yeah,
I want to cry right now.
It was literally something that I would never even begin to understand because he didn't know who I was, but he was so
giving.
So literally that day, I put an ad on Craigslist, and I had like 10 or 15 resumes, and the first meeting I had was Loretta. And she rolled in. She's like, I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm Loretta. She was like the spunky little, whatever.
Yeah.
And I met her at Dunkin' Donuts in Richboro. And she goes, I'm like, I have like a lot of people I have to interview today. So she's like, listen, throw them all out. Hire me. It'll be best decision you ever made. Literally, she was so confident. She just promised me that in 3 years, you would get me. After I work as an administrative assistant, you let me become a realtor and work on your team. And I'm like, wow. She was like so like to the point. And I said, listen, I can't afford to pay, because she was telling me she was getting paid, she was working for Xerox. I'm like, I can't afford to pay you. And she goes, I'll take a pay cut. And now when I talked to her, she's like, listen, I looked you up. I knew who you were back then. I felt that this was something that I can grow with you. She didn't know me at all. And we became very close. So she became my assistant. And maybe 6 months into it, things just spiraled into this. I was even busier. And she saw that I was literally like drowning. And she's like, let me get my license. She's like, let me do it now. She's like, I'll take a 2-weekend crash course and I'll get my license now. And let me help you with this. And I'm like, we have to find another assistant because we're going to drown. So literally she got her license and we started interviewing. And we found another assistant. We went through a couple and she just started killing it from the gate. And she went to making, 6 figures the first year. Like she's killing it. And she literally, I gave her a chance. She took a chance on me by taking a pay cut, and literally it became what it is today.